Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Coming at you with a live video today about 5 easy steps you can use to create your daily schedule. If you don't already know me, I'm Val Quickman and I'm a lifestyle coach and herbal specialist, and I love sharing information. I plan on doing this like once a week, Wednesdays and Thursdays usually. Who here creates their own schedule? If you do, give me a 1, and if you don't create your own schedule, give me a 2. Step 1 of the 5 easy steps to creating your own schedule is getting clear with your values and your goals. If you I started to get too comfortable with mine and was just blowing off things I just didn't want to do, so I decided to make a new one, start fresh in my head. So what I wanted to do was write down all my values and goals, like family. Everybody wants to spend time with their family. You have work, if you work full-time. You might have health as a goal, so you write your health is one of the main things, and career, family, health is basically, or even your spirituality if you're spiritual. So basically there should be between 3 to 5 super important things that you focus on every day to get done. And obviously you have other things with your family, that is food, making meals, maybe picking them up to and from school, all that kind of thing. But let's just first list the main things, like health, family, career, or health, family, spirituality. Whatever those 3 to 5 main things are, write them down. Step 2 would be to, under each one, make a list, like rows of your 5, and then write down the activities for each section that need to be done. Like, let's just use today. It's 11, but we could still schedule the rest of today. So write what you need to do in each one of them down. Like for me, I have to pick up my son at school at 2. I have to drive him to school in the morning at 8. We do homework right after school at between 2 and 3. That'll be our hour of homework. And at 7:30, he reads every night before he goes to sleep. So those are goals with the family, and obviously dinner, lunch, making him breakfast in the morning, which is part of the school time. For work, I work 12-hour shifts, so from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or whatever my shift will be, I work. So that's pretty much off the table with doing some things. Workout and meal prep if you're focusing on health. When you're going to work out every day, and I suggest making it at the same time. When you're going to meal prep, you can meal prep 2 or 3 times a week. For an hour and a half, whatever it takes to get it done, your lunches and maybe even dinners for the family. So you save some time there, doing it all at once, batching it. For your career, if I also run my side business and lifestyle coaching, and have jobs that I have to do. I love doing lives, so I put that in there. I blog. I also have to follow up and connect with my customers every day and my team. So those are some things I do every day too. And I have to have all this written down so I can get it done, because if I don't, I'm just going to sit on the couch and watch TV and do nothing. And then I'm going to feel horrible about myself the next day. So this is why scheduling is so important. So step 3 would be to break down your schedule at the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep in 1 hour block. So if you say for instance, Tommy, who's going to watch this later, I'm sure, because we were just talking about this yesterday, he wants to start managing his time so he can fit in a workout and meal planning. So what you're going to do is break down your entire day into 1 hour increments, whenever you wake up to whenever you go to sleep. And then you're going to add in these activities in these 1 hour increments. Sometimes they won't take an hour, so you can add in 2 things in there that will add up to an hour. But you basically block out your time. For me, I work, so those 12 hours are blocked out of the whole day. I obviously pick my son up from school and we do homework between 2 and 3. We eat dinner between 5 and 6. We read books between 7 and 7:30. I get up in the morning at 3:20, and I do some work on my business between 3 and 4:20, and I'll work out from 4:20 to 4:50. Basically, I have it all broken down so I don't It's kind of like a balance, honestly. I mean, there's no really way to be balanced because you're focusing on one thing, you're not focusing on something else. But ultimately, it's trying to balance out so you have every important area of your life covered in a day. I'll just write it out. Like, if you guys can see this, there's a little. I wrote it out when I woke up all the way to when I go to sleep. This is 2 days, so that's what I did. I actually do it digitally through Google Calendar because it allows you to do that. So if you guys have Google Calendar, I totally suggest getting Google Calendar and doing it digitally if that's your thing. If you're a paper person, just write down on a regular notebook piece of paper. Grab one of your kids' construction paper and do it that way. Just something real simple, but it's going to give you the organization you're going to need to get things done. Number 4 is stay consistent. Like, I do this on a Sunday for the entire week ahead. So once you start planning it and you get consistent with doing it every day, you can plan it out for a whole week. So it won't be so much planning. If you're going to do it daily, I suggest doing it first thing when you get up in the morning or before you go to bed at night for the next day. It takes about 15 minutes. And try to use the same time for things because that's like a routine and a schedule, and your brain loves doing the same things over and over again, believe it or not, because it becomes a habit. So try to stay consistent on whatever time frame for like working out and meal prepping, and say you're gonna have family time or dinner is your family time, so keep that a consistent time, and your kids will love it too because kids thrive on schedules, as we all know. And then number 5 is like literally don't burn out. You have to leave time to have your own thing, your like freedom. So it's good to have some blocks of time where you might not have something scheduled, because if you look at your schedule and it feels like you don't have any time to yourself, you need to have time to yourself. So just put me time in there and do something like outside of the house if you can. That's the key, is actually following it. So I would make like 3 or 4 copies of your schedule and post it everywhere. And what I do, actually, I deleted the alerts, but I used to do this and it worked very well. In Google Calendar, they have a place to make alerts for events. Like, you create an event that says I work out between 4 and 5, and then it'll give you alert like 5 minutes before. So it's like, oh, you get 5 minutes before, you hear this beep. So of course we all naturally check our phones, and it says do this, and it's like, all right, yeah, it's time to do that now. But leave time for yourself. That's ultimately it, because you're gonna burn yourself out, and then you're gonna be like, literally be like, this schedule stinks, I can't do it, when it's just an excuse in your head because it's hard. It's hard to be structured. But honestly, like, if I would go through here and do exactly what I was supposed to do, it'd actually be freeing. Instead of like, you think it's structured, but it's not. It's freeing. You're getting everything you want to get done in a day. Like, have time to clean the house. Put like, okay, today, one day out of the week, I'm going to clean the bathroom. And then the next day, I'm going to clean the kitchen. And like, write it down and be like, okay, for a half an hour, I'm going to clean I'm going to do laundry on this day. Or I'm going to do whatever on the next day. And you'll get more done that way, because you're focusing. And then just leave it like a normal routine. Like, every Wednesday I clean the kitchen, like floors and everything on my hands and knees. That's what you're gonna do for half an hour or whatever. So you basically have structure, and you feel like you're getting more done. And you look back at your list and be like, wow, I did all this stuff when I was supposed to. And then you have time to sit down and you're like, I feel like I accomplished something that day. Especially for like workouts. Like, if you stay consistent and you know your time, it's gonna become part of you. You're gonna get up in the morning whenever I don't know, if you work overnights, you're gonna get up at noon or 1 and be like, okay, it's time for me to work out. And it's like, you're gonna want to do it because it's part of who you are now. You struggle with getting like a workout. A lot of people I talk to struggle with getting like new food in and like a workout, and they just find a reason to just keep blowing it off. Schedule it and then literally push yourself to do it for a whole week and see how it feels then. Like, get a whole week of workouts and like meal prepping in, and then see how you feel then. You'll want to keep doing it because you scheduled it and then you did it, and you were true to yourself and what you said you're gonna do, and you kept your word. And if that's not a confidence booster, I don't know what else is. So I think it's just basically staying true to what you said you're gonna do in your word. Ultimately, that's what scheduling is. Stay consistent with anything. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's my 5 tips, and I'll just review them again. Number 1 is define your main value and goals and what your priorities are, and there should be between 3 and 5 huge things like health, family, career, those things. And then number 2 is the activities that go under each one of your main priorities that you want to do every day. put those under there, and then you're going to break that down into 1 hour increments between the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. And with each task you need to do every day, and then stay consistent is tip number 4. Always stay consistent with it, and even if you have to set alerts in your phone, on your alarm clock, on your iPhone or whatever, so you can remember that it's time to do whatever you need to do at that time. And number 5 is make sure you leave time for freedom, so you're not so strict. You have time to just do whatever. Eat a cupcake. I don't know. You have time to do something. So those are my 5 tips. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. Check back in with me, actually. Let me know how you did once you make your schedule. If you want, just screenshot it and put it under here so you can hold yourself accountable that you did it, because that'll even be more awesome. So screenshot your schedule and put it in the comments so I can see it, and then we'll hold each other accountable for the next 2 days at least. I hope you like this. Let me know. Comment below, and if you guys want to share it or anything, feel free. Have a great day, everybody.